So we wanted to talk to you guys today about supporting local gun rights organizations, not just local, but statewide, nationwide. We realized that during times like this where, after the Newtown shooting in Connecticut, a lot of people hopped on board with NRA, Gun Owners of America, all these bigger organizations. And our fear is that, coming from a state where we have our rights stripped almost on a daily basis, it's really devastating for us who are trying to promote responsible gun ownership and teaching people about gun safety, gun rights, what the Second Amendment is all about. It's really defeating when we feel like sometimes we have no support, or after something like in Connecticut, people jump on the bandwagon for a bit and then they kind of drift off and lose interest. So we really want to encourage you guys. We don't want this to be a talking down to anybody or anything like that, or reprimanding anybody. We want it to be an encouragement today to let you guys know that kind of some of the organizations that we support, and then we encourage you guys to at least check out, go to their website, read up on them, see if it's something that you want to support as far as gun rights. These are guys who are fighting for our rights every day and your rights if you're a gun owner. And it's cool because I know we've gotten emails and messages on our YouTube channel from people even in different countries and or even this country where they don't even own a gun, or they're in countries where they've lost their gun rights basically, and they will actually send money to organizations like some of the ones we're listing. And that just blows me away, how long I've been shooting for over 20 years. Not that you can tell by my shooting, but it's really important to be able to support gun rights, and I kind of took that for granted for a long time. I've been a member of the NRA for a long time, but seeing these other organizations spring up and ones that fight for us every day legally, in legislation, stuff like that, they need money to be able to do so. And if you don't fight, you're going to lose. I mean, that's just the bottom line. The more leftist and liberal approach is just going to kind of slowly wipe out all of our gun rights. And not everybody on the left is anti-gun. I have friends who are on the left who are actually pro-gun. So I don't mean to make a group kind of pigeonholed, or just kind of think of them all as a typecasted group. I want it to be clear to you guys that these are rights that are slowly being stripped from us, and that we're losing, that deteriorate. It's really hard to get them back once they're gone. That's the point. So it would really help the whole gun community, the shooting community. Donate $5 here and there when you can. It's not the fact that you need to drop $500 or anything like that, but $5 here or there goes a long way to help fight legal battles. And if you've got other charities you're involved in, other organizations, that's great. Keep giving to those. Whether it's churches or anything, local homeless, that kind of stuff. Especially veterans, we're all big supportive of local veteran agencies and trying to help out our veterans. But gun rights is really huge to me, because without the Second Amendment, that protects all the other rights that we have, in my opinion. So, organizations like the National Rifle Association, a lot of people think of them as different ways. Even pro-gun people I talk to don't like them for certain things they've done in the past or supported in the past. There's always going to be controversy with the NRA. But my bottom line is, who is the first one that the president or people in charge talk to when it comes to gun rights bills? It's the NRA. So whether you support them or not, or you don't agree with every call they make, they're the ones who are representing you in Washington. And that to me is really important, that I at least have somebody in my corner. And for that, I will give them as much as I can each month to spare. And that's really, really important, to be able to support the person who's fighting for your rights. So, if you sit back and do nothing, nothing's going to happen. And in that sense, you're just going to slowly be backed into a corner as far as losing more and more rights. And for you guys, I really encourage you guys in states that have really awesome gun rights. We're here in California. Then you have states like Texas, and there's a big difference between the two. You guys in Texas are going, yeehaw, we're stoked, we got all of our gun rights, and nothing bad there. Whereas, and then we get tons of comments on YouTube saying, man, I feel bad for you guys in California. Well, you guys will become California really fast if you don't get in the fight and if you don't act. And whether it's financially, whether it's you donating your time, if you don't have a lot of cash, go call the NRA, call the Gun Owners of America is another really good one, the GOA. Again, you can go to NRA.com for the NRA, GOA.com for Gun Owners of America. We'll have all the sites listed right underneath the video in the description. Links to all these guys, but it's really important to get in the fight in some way, whether it's donation of money, time, becoming a recruiter for some of these organizations where you're telling your friends about them, trying to get them sign up. Those people in the organizations really appreciate it. And remember, they appreciate it, but really you should appreciate it because they're the ones fighting for your rights.
For all of our viewers here in California, the organization that you know, on top of the NRA and the Gun Owners of America, the organization to support here is going to be calguns.net. It's a tremendous community, just a wealth of knowledge, and the people that you know, the administrators there are so knowledgeable, and they fight for all of our rights here in California. You know, there's a lot of donations that come into the Cal Guns Foundation, but definitely there's still not enough. I mean, California is definitely turning into a state that's, I'd say, worse than, you know, well, at least for me, I'd say it's worse than all the other states. Just the strictest of all the gun laws, and it's getting worse and worse every single day. So you know, we need your support here in California. You know, if you're out of state, you know, we'd love your support. If not, you know, that's fine. But you know, any of our viewers that are in California, we absolutely need the support here for calguns.net.
Some other organizations that you know, we really like and support and you know, are working with and alongside. One is Oath Keepers. I mean, Oath Keepers is a tremendous organization made up of both military, law enforcement, first responders, you know, and even civilians. They've opened up you know, membership to civilians too. Before you had to be a first responder, before you had to be military to be a part of Oath Keepers, and now, you know, anyone's welcome. So, you know, the message there is to uphold the Constitution against enemies both foreign and domestic, which I think is extraordinarily important because you know, we're attacked on our gun rights on a daily basis here in California, and you know, it seems like on a fairly regular basis nationwide. So, you know, Oath Keepers is a great organization. We strongly recommend you get involved with them. You know, we've got a lot of viewers and a lot of friends that are first responders and military, and you know, we know a lot of you guys belong, but for those of you who are, you know, the average guy, the civilian out there that doesn't have that, you know, that training or you know, even that career path, you can still get involved and belong to something that's part of a much larger organization, and something that's, you know, true to the heart of America, and really drives home the, you know, the basics of our principles that we were founded on. So Oath Keepers is a great one. Another that I really like is National Association of Gun Rights, or NAGR. You know, they're a really good organization as well. I get pretty much a weekly newsletter from them that kind of goes over what is going on in my state. You know, and if you sign up for it, I'm sure you're going to get some information that's more, you know, personalized and local to you. So if you are in Texas, you may not get a whole lot of news from them, but here in California, it seems like every other day I get an email saying that you know, Nancy Pelosi or you know, Barbara Boxer, Dianne Feinstein is, you know, on the warpath to take away anything scary that goes bang. So it's really important that we do support organizations like that. So we've mentioned NRA, GOA, we've talked about Cal Guns, we've talked about Oath Keepers, we've talked about National Association of Gun Rights. You know, there's a handful more on our list here, but it's very important that we do support all of them with every spare dollar we can.
One more thing too is there's a book that recently came out. It's written by, or is published by Glenn Beck and his great group of writers. It's called Control, and it basically covers all of the arguments that any gun rights, or anybody that's supportive of gun rights, any arguments that they're gonna encounter from I don't want to say the left, but from anybody, any kind of gun grabbers or anybody that's anti-gun. And boy, it really puts those arguments to rest. It really does. It's very well written. I mean, it's a lot of the stuff is just broken down Barney style. It's super easy to understand, and you know, it really just settles the argument on every single level.
We read it and understood it, so it's pretty much done in crayon in Dr. Seuss style. So
big pictures.
So people like me can understand it. But seriously, if you have any friends that are on the fence, or you know, even if you're on the fence, you know, it really is a great book. It's dirt cheap. You know, it's $12. You can probably find it cheaper on Amazon.com, but it's an unbelievable read.
Like I said, whether it's time, whether it's $5 a month, I mean, all the websites of these foundations talk about how if everyone just gives $1 a month or $5 a month, or what was it the last time I looked? It's like out of however many millions and millions of gun owners there are in America, there's only like 4 or 5 million of them have signed up to the NRA. I think there's like 300 million gun owners or more now. So it's such a small percentage that fight in the community, not just locally at our city level, state level, but nationally. I think so many of us have kind of sat on our duffs for too long, and I'm including myself. Get out there. I really encourage you, get out there, get active, support these organizations. If it's $5 here, $5 there, even just calling them saying, hey, what can I do? Do you have any rallies coming up where you need volunteers? The Friends of the NRA is another great one, where they have rallies at a lot of city levels too, where you have a whole group of people to go out who are fellow NRA members, and they talk about what they can do to help out. It's cool because they don't just talk about gun rights and how to fight for those, with your vote and stuff like that, but they say, how can we positively impact our community, not just for gun rights, but just period. Like they talk about, hey, are there schools we can volunteer at, or anything like that. So there are a lot of them that actually go out and just want to better the community. So when you encounter a gun grabber, someone who's anti-gun at all, and they talk about how evil you are for owning a firearm, you can tell them about the Friends of the NRA or something like that you may go to and go, oh, well, I go volunteer at the soup kitchen and I help out this veteran association and I donate money to help out this cause. And, what can they really say against that for the fact that you're trying to be a better man or a better woman or a better leader in your community? I mean, if someone wants to argue against you, then they obviously have problems. We really encourage you, like we said, either time, money, whatever you can, support gun organizations, and the whole key message here is don't stop. Don't let it be right now while things are rough, finding ammunition, firearms, whatever. Keep it going constantly, on a day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. You guys get the idea. So we just really encourage you to, we're going to keep coming out with videos like this, letting you know of any organizations we find that we support and that we find that are helping out a lot of people and fighting for gun rights. We're not going to stop supporting those people and making videos and getting out there and donating our time, money, whatever we can. So, just hopefully an encouragement to you guys. Look up the organizations. Again, read all about them. Don't just take our word for it. Read through each one and see which ones are good for you to support, and see which ones you agree with and which ones really support the Constitution. That's kind of the bottom line. So,
and also one more thing too, just add in, this is something you guys can do for free. Is just whenever you get a chance, if you see a veteran, somebody wearing a hat, or wearing a pin, or see somebody in uniform, just go over there, shake their hand, tell them thank you, because without them, there is no Second Amendment.
Yep.
There's no country. So.
And I've had 2 different veterans now tell me too, if you see someone who you're sure was or they were involved in the Vietnam War, tell them welcome home. Mm-hmm. That means the world to those guys, because they did not get a welcome home when they came back from that. That's a great point, is supporting our veterans as simple as, you see one at a restaurant, dude, buy his drink, buy his soda, buy his chips, buy his, whatever it is, buy his appetizer. I've done that several times, and they always give me this really weirded out look, and it's like, well, because I appreciate you, because you're supporting what we're trying to, you're upholding the Constitution. So that's a great point. And we're going to be doing a lot more videos on local veteran organizations that we work with here in Southern California. So
we've also had the opportunity to work with a couple different branches of military, special forces, and based upon their clearance, we may be able to get them on future videos. So you guys will, in the near future, hopefully be able to hear from some guys that have experienced, some pretty unruly conditions and gone through some trainings that, the rest of us could only dream of. So, stay tuned for those. We're going to have, a variety of different, giveaways coming up. We're going to have a variety of different videos coming up on both firearms and accessories. So make sure you guys stay tuned, and, we'll hopefully be putting out a lot more cool stuff for you guys.
And these guys really know how to shoot.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. We'll have tons more videos coming up with lots more roundtables. We have a ton of good weapons reviews coming out this summer, coming really soon, along with gear, survival gear, bug out stuff, vehicles maybe even too, which will be really fun. Mm-hmm. We got some cool stuff coming up. So stay tuned, and thanks a lot for watching.